Hello everyone, Revan619 here, and we're back in another episode of rubbish that people put out to game the YouTube algorithm. Today we've got one that's been requested by multiple users that I didn't actually know made builds because their content just seems to be everything in the world is OP and it was just all meaningless nonsense to me, and that is Rage Gaming videos. So this fella is a hardcore algorithm gamer who just sort of plays everything and pumps out rubbish for just about everything he plays. And every single Elden Ring video this guy puts out is everything's OP, everything's unstoppable, all the time. And yeah, I didn't actually know this was builds. I thought it was just a guy clickbaiting everything in the game, from Ashes of Wars to weapons, like just absolute rubbish, like 8 game-changing incantations, just talking about regular incantations everyone's using. Best sword in the game, just incredible. That's the one we're going to be looking at today. Again, didn't even know this is build. He's just using one of the Faith swords that aren't that popular or common. And so yeah, I thought I'd actually look into this build, seeing as this fella essentially says everything in the game is OP. The reason I hadn't looked into him before is because he is not a rune seller, so that's something nice. Looking at his actual videos in general, they are very well presented. The actual guy presenting them has quite a bit of charisma, which is very nice to see. He doesn't show off his builds doing anything too special. He only fights very, very, very early game bosses with them. However, he says that these builds are both for PvE and PvP, and he is building them at 150, so that's some good points here already. So we're looking at his build, and the first thing you can see is he's playing level 150, only 50 vigor on a full melee build, so that's already a red flag. 37 poise on a full melee build, that's a red flag. Tree seal when only having 40 faith, another red flag. He is only using buffs, so again, he doesn't need to have 41 faith. He's using 18 mind, which is way more than enough. He's using buffs that don't add very much, and he's also using Scorpion Seal, which, again, I don't mind that it's reduced for PvP. The negative defenses that you take doesn't matter too much if you're still around 30%, because there's actually a defense cap. So if you have 35 defenses and you put on one of the Scorpion Seals, instead of dropping like a whole 15%, you'll normally only drop about 6% because of the way that the mitigation cap works. So you can very easily use a seal, and rather than having like 10 or 15% defenses, you can still have 30% defenses almost. So I'm not against them, but with his armor choice, this is a very bad choice here. He's also put on a charge talisman. Again, you wouldn't really want to use this for PvE or PvP when there's much better things. And his stat spread is very questionable. So just double checking his build, I'm assuming that extra 1 point of faith is from his helm, so he's probably is actually level 150. So, and yeah, when we actually looks about the seal, because he is using 1 damage spell, he's yeah, his faith, he is using 41 faith, so the actual best seal for him would be Godslayers, not the Tree by any means. But yeah, the sword he's using is the Miquelian Knight sword, which is a fairly uncommon one. He's obviously gone to New Game Plus to get 2 or duped 1, whichever, doesn't matter. And yes, he's using buffs like Golden Vow. He's also using Flame Give Me Strength. So it's not bad stuff. But when we're actually looking at his stats for this sword, so this guy is going into 45-45 with the 41 there. So that's giving him about 627 on the AR placement. However, if we drop the faith down to just 25 for Golden Vow, he's not losing that much. Those 20 points, you're not actually losing that much AR. So if you jiggle it around with it a little bit, again, if you drop all the strength all the way down, so say we just keep this to say 46, we've still got that 571. If you compare it with just the, like I said, the 45, 46, 615, it's not too bad. If you go up 50-50 and only 25 here, that's actually 629. So for 5 points less, he's actually getting more out of it here. So he can do way more of his build than going those 20 points into faith. So one thing that I've tested on my version, where I had dropped just testing with 45-45, he showed off that he could get his AR with all the buffs up to 1030 something, but you're still getting 1023 even without going into that. So there are ways that you can improve the actual stat spread. So if you want to do this at 125, you can actually get 60 vigor. You can drop the mind down to just 40, just in case you do want the mind. You can get the endurance up to 25, so you can easily get 108 plus poise on this build, because you don't need that much endurance to go all the way up on poise with 2 straight swords. email just popped up there. Yeah, you could easily only have strength up to 44. It seems to scale bare with strength. So you've got one of the first soft caps for strength and dexterity on descaling weapons is both 20. So you can stop dex 20 and then just go up in strength. And you only need to go up 25 faith to get that golden vow. So this way, we save a lot of levels, so we don't need to be on 150 at all. You could, if you wanted to, if you did want to go up to 150, strength seems to scale better than dexterity on this build. I noticed going from 40 to 50 on dex, sometimes you wouldn't even get 1 point, but you'd always get on strength 1 or 2 points, so it's better to go higher in strength if that's what you're going to do, and if that's what you want to do it. Or if you don't want to do that at all, and you actually want to go more for faith casting, you could actually get your mind up to, say, 25, you could go up to 63 faith, and keep these down to 20. Yes, you'll have less AR, but then you can start adding in spells, and if you can see here, for the spell buff 227, but if we change this to 63, with his helm, technically it would be 64, but we're getting way more spell buff than what he was using, so we're going up to 298 from his previous 227. So again, Godslayer Seal is what you want to swap to, and you can get a lot more out of it doing it this way. So he's not really made an effective build here. Again, with his armors, you really don't want this Holy Scorpion, but if you had a much heavy armor, that's absolutely acceptable. Shard of Alexander, that's actually good if you are mostly focusing on it. And yeah, I would say completely get rid of the Charge Talisman. But he is using the tree here. I think that's the +1, but you can get the +2 as well, I would say. But yeah, for the other stuff in this build, again, he talks about using the physics, so you could actually get it up. He says that you could use the Bull Goat Talisman to go up to a whole 49 poise, people. You might be able to tank a single Straight Sword hit with that. Yeah, that's way too low. You want heavier armor with this. His main issue here is he's only using 15 endurance, which is absolutely pathetic. Like, you would struggle. You would really struggle with that because you wouldn't be able to run much. You wouldn't be able to attack much. Obviously, he's just tried to pump up the AR with using the Holy Shrouded Tear because he wanted to show off like how much like AR you could get on flat numbers, even though all of this heavily reduced in PvP, heavily reduced. PvE, it's still okay, but like I was showing, you can get way more out of your stats. If you literally, all these points in faith here are wasted. Drop that down to 25 if you just want to get Golden Vow. You don't even need to really use Flame Grant Me Strength. It's just an extra buff that's wasting time. I would drop that. Drop this spell as well, the Hone Bolt, because again, he's not going to be able to quick cast it with the setup he's using. So just Holy Veil, 25. You could drop your mind down to 11 even if you're only just doing that. So you don't even need the mind there. You just go down to 11 here, and then you can pop that into strength, and again, you're going to get way more damage, way more mileage, and you just get better economy for what you're actually using your points for. So yeah, this one, that version of the Vagabond be better. And again, only if you're really going into casting do you really need that mind. Like, even if you're, say, you did want to play at the 150 version, you could drop the mind down to whatever the base was, and you could have that there. And then you still got more points left over to put in other places. Like, so you don't really need the mind. And then you could put the endurance up, maybe, if you wanted a little bit more poise, or well, whatever have you. Either way, you're still going to get a little bit more out of it. But yeah, he doesn't know what the breakpoints are, and obviously he's just putting points in random places. So it's not well optimized. Like, low endurance with PvE isn't the best either, because you want to be able to roll a lot because bosses are going to be attacking you. So that low endurance, that low poise, not very good. Especially 150 with only 50 vigor. Like, you're not doing good things, people. And obviously telling people to use the Tree because you've got a damage spell because it's got an S on it. He knows absolutely nothing about how the scaling works with different things. Like, I think it's not until about 69 that actually, yes, see, Tree comes in here at 69. If we drop that back down to 68, again, yeah, until you've got that 69 faith, it's never worth it. But yeah, overall, his build, I would say 5 out of 10. It's not the best. It's not too bad. There is quite a bit of misinformation here, but this is just someone he doesn't know the system, but he's not pumping out egregious misinformation. So I'm not too unhappy with that. But yeah, as far as this build goes, yeah, 5 out of 10. It's not really a good build, but it's not a horribly bad build. It's usable because it is 2 dual straight swords. You can roll and press L1 and you'll still do absolutely fine. But there's a lot of things that you need to improve here. Like with this low defenses that you have on his armor set here, you don't want to be using Scorpion Charm. You're never really going to be using this charge thing here. He wants you to use the charge physic. Again, it's not the best. He's got the completely wrong seal on there because he was like, oh, it has an S and you could use a spell with 40 faith, and no, you don't really want to be doing that. Yeah, the second buff, it's just wasted time. It's not going to last very long. It's not going to do too much for you. He just wanted to get pre-numbers at the end. But that's it. That's all we got going through this build. Yeah, I'd be very wary of this one. Like, it's kind of like a Fextra Life situation where you can get some good ideas, but I would never copy their stats because he is not going to optimize for you, and it's going to just set you up for failure. Same with a lot of people that put out these clickbait videos who don't understand the system, who are just trying to smash out whatever rubbish they can to get as many clicks and views. But that's all we got. Till next time, hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you next time when it comes to hot trash that clickbait YouTubers are trying to get out.